Dear friends, welcome to this week's virtual Drasha. This week we have the incredible privilege of Parshas Noach. And in the Parsha we read of the dramatic and traumatic story of the flood. Kadosh Baruch Hu sees the downward spiral of man and feels that it has gotten to such a point that he has no choice but to start over. And Noach essentially becomes the second Adam Arishon. Noach becomes the second Adam. He becomes the father of this new chapter of humanity. And there's an incredible and beautiful and overwhelming Medrash. The Medrash writes as follows: Kishiyatza Noach min hateva. When Noach came out of the Teva, so fast forwarding a little bit, the flood is over. Kadosh Baruch Hu again tells Noach, say min Teva, come out. Noach comes out of the Teva and he sees the utter devastation and destruction. The entire world has just been wiped out. He began to cry. And Noach turns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he says, Ribono shel olam, nikreis rachum. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are known as a compassionate entity. How did you not have compassion upon your creations? Heshiva HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Rebbeinu Shalom responds back to Noach, and you could imagine just the emotion in this exchange. You know, sometimes cognitively you know something, but it's only when you actually see it with your own eyes that you realize the full measure and scope of it. Noach knew that the world was destroyed. Kadosh Baruch Hu told him the world was destroyed. But it was only when he exited the Teva and literally saw the destruction with his own eyes that he was so overwhelmed. Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're called Rachum, you're called compassionate. Where was your compassion? How were you not compassionate upon all of your creations? And Kadosh Baruch Hu responds with equal amount of passion. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Roa Shota, foolish shepherd. Kadosh Baruch Hu calls Noach a foolish shepherd. Achshav ata omer zos. Now you say something. V'lo bizman sha'amarti va'ani hineni mevi mabul al haaretz. So Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Noach, back in Perek Vav, Pasuk Yud Zayin, I said to you, the pasuk va'ani. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Noach, speaks to Noach. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, va'ani anai hineni mevi es hamabul ma'im al haaretz. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Noach, I'm going to bring a flood upon the earth. L'shachis kol basar shaba ruach chayim, and it's going to wipe out every living thing. Mitachas hashamayim, underneath the heavens. Kol asher ba'aretz yigva. Everything on the earth will expire. Everything on the earth will be decimated. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, Noach, I told you what was going to happen. Mechevan, but yet, and you didn't say anything to me. Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Noach, you didn't say anything to me. I told you what I was going to do. Kadosh Baruch Hu said to Noach, do you think I owe you an explanation about my plans? You think I have to tell you what I'm doing before I do it? I don't owe you any explanations. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't owe man anything. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, yet Noach, I went out of my way to tell you what I was going to do. Not only did I tell you what I was going to do, I was explicit with what I was going to do. I explained that every living thing, humans, animals, vegetation, plant life, everything was going to be destroyed. And Noach, why do you think I said it to you? I said it to you because I was hoping you were going to do something. I said it to you because I was hoping that you would lobby on behalf of mankind, that you would lobby on behalf of the earth. I said it to you. I divulged my plans to you because I wanted you to say something. Mechevan, Kadosh Baruch Hu goes on. It's a scathing rebuke. But yet, Mechevan sheshamata sha'ata nitzel b'teva, lo Allah alibcha ra'asa olam. But after you, Noach, heard that you and your family were going to be saved in the Teva, then you weren't so worried about the plight of humanity. So an overwhelming exchange. Noach almost wagging an accusatory finger towards Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're Rachum, you're compassionate. How did you do all this? Kadosh Baruch Hu said, what? I told you what I was going to do. Why do you think I told you? Why did I divulge the information to you? If not, so you should recognize that you have the opportunity to do something, that you have the opportunity to make it better, that you have the opportunity to lobby. You know, it's almost reminiscent. Generations later, when Kadosh Baruch Hu would tell Moshe Rabbeinu after the Chitik, after the sin of the golden calf, Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe, Heref mimenu v'ashmidim, let go of me, and I will destroy the people. And Rashi HaKadosh says that Moshe didn't realize in that moment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying to Moshe, let go of me, almost like, allow me to destroy. In those words, Moshe Rabbeinu understood that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying, Moshe, you have the ability to stop me. Because if you don't let go, so to speak, I can't do it. So Kiviyachol, the Medrash says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was doing the same thing with Noach. He was saying, Noach, I told you the plan. Why? Not because I owe you an explanation, not because you're entitled to any pre-information, but I was telling you with the hope that you would lobby, with the hope that you would do something, with the hope that you would try to affect change. So don't tell me now, after everything is done, that you're so overwhelmed, you can't believe it. Where was your rachamim? You had your chance, but you didn't take it. An overwhelming and incredible medrash on so many different levels, which begs the question, why didn't Noach try to do something? And this, of course, is the famous kasha by Noach. And there are many different terutzim, and there are many different answers to this, right? Why didn't Noach try? Like we will see just next week. Avram Avinu lobbies on behalf of Stone. Later on, like we said before, Moshe Rabbeinu lobbies on behalf of Klal Yisrael. Our biblical narratives are filled with stories of great leaders who lobbied on behalf of constituents, even or on behalf of the flock, even if they were flawed and even if they were so fundamentally broken. Why didn't Noach do something? And I think the Pashat Pshat, the simple idea, is because Noach felt that humanity was so broken that it couldn't change. In other words, Noach saw what was happening all around him. He saw what was happening all around him. And sometimes when you see such pervasive evil, there's no hope. Like there's no sense of optimism that things could turn around. Noach was living in that reality for so long, and he saw what the people were doing, how they were behaving, that he felt there is no way for humanity as a whole to affect comprehensive, cathartic change. And that's why, interestingly enough, when Noach gets off the teva, it's not like he beats himself up. It's not like, sometimes people think to themselves, only if I would have, I should have, I could have. Those thoughts don't even enter into Noach's mind. In Noach's mind, the only thing that could have turned things around is that Kadosh Baruch Hu's sense of rachmanos, his rachamim, divine compassion. Because divine compassion doesn't have to be rooted in reality. Divine compassion could just be because Kadosh Baruch Hu is a rachamon. So Noach is almost saying, Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're the only one who could have affected any change. Noach felt humanity was so broken that they could not change. But yet Kadosh Baruch Hu clearly feels the other way. Because Kadosh Baruch Hu takes Noach to task. Roa Shota, foolish shepherd, why did you not do anything? So what's happening over here? What's the tension between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Noach? So there's another pasuk. I don't know why this never really caught my eye before, but it caught my eye this year in the construction of the Teva. So the Torah says as follows. This is in Perek Vav, pasuk Tes Zayin, chapter 6, verse 16. Tzor Tasa Teva. So you make a tzor as a discussion. Tzor, is it a window? Is it a precious stone? Then it goes on. Upesach HaTeva B'tzida Tasim. Make the door of the teva on the side of the ark. Okay, interesting. So Rashi says something interesting. Rashi says, now Rashi's intrigued by this. Remember, Rashi's a reactive mefarish. So Rashi says, Rashi says, Rashi's bothered by, normally on a boat, right? If there are people living inside of the boat, you would have the door on the top, like on the deck. So you'd go below deck into the living quarters, and then you'd come up, and there'd be an opening on the top of the deck. You wouldn't normally put the opening of the boat on the side. You'd put it on the top, on the deck. So Rashi's bothered by, so why does the teva have its entrance on the side and not on the top? And Rashi says something very simple. Shelo yiplu hageshamim ba. It's very simple. There's going to be 40 days of sustained rain, like a lot of rain. So what happens? So therefore, if the entrance was on top on the deck, the rain would seep through. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, put it on the side, and that way the rain won't seep through. Okay, admittedly not the most riveting piece of information, but yet it is always intriguing to see what the Ribono Shel Olam chooses to share with us in his Torah. And the great tzaddik, the Kalina Rebbe, the Beis Aaron, says something beautiful. He says that there is a profound life lesson in the placement of the door. He says, Ze Pesach Tzedodi Lebali Tshuva. So says the Beis Aaron something beautiful. This placement of the door on the side is a metaphor for Bali Tshuva. What does it mean? Shirim Yicholim Likanes Bepesach Harashi Shikansu Min Atzad. This is incredible. Sometimes in life, when you want to go ahead and start something new, you want to start over. So the best way to do that is to kind of go through the primary entrance, right? I'm ready. It's a new start, a new beginning, and there's like an entranceway. There's a pathway to go. But what do you do sometimes when the primary or the ideal pathways to change are closed off? So a lot of times, or too often in life, if the ideal pathway to change is closed off, we often just throw in the towel, we give up. And the Beis Aaron says, Chosh Baruch Hu's teaching us is that sometimes when the primary pathway to change is closed off, you got to take a secondary one. You have to take a little bit of a circuitous route. You have to go on the side. You can't affect change exactly the way you want it to, so do something a little less ideal. But don't say because you can't affect ideal change that no change is necessary. No. Even if you have to take the side door to change, even if you have to take the circuitous route to change, some change, even less than ideal change, is better than no change, says the base Aaron. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu was trying to teach Noach. You see, the Teva was the incubator. The Teva was like the womb. The Teva represented that cocoon of holiness in which one could go into in order to experience a rebirth. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu was teaching us something amazing. Had the door been on the deck, on the top, then that would have represented that as you come into this world, as you come into this rebirth, there's only one way out, which is the ideal path, the ideal pathway forward. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no. Let's put the entrance, let's put the door on the side, highlighting the idea that sometimes when you want to rebirth yourself and you want to change, change doesn't take place in an ideal way, or change doesn't manifest itself in an ideal fashion. But sometimes, again, change itself is less than ideal. Change is a bit compromised. Change is b'diavad. Sometimes you need to take the side door. So many times in life, we want to start again. But I can't start the way I want to start. I can't affect the change that I want to affect. I can't go out the door of the Teva. I can't go out the front door of the Teva. So what do? You can throw in the towel. Say, if I can't affect ideal change, then no change is worth it. Or take the side door. Take the side door. Some change is better than no change. You see, Noach was right. Noach was right. It could very well be that humanity was so profoundly compromised that complete, cathartic, comprehensive change was not possible. So what was Noach's mistake? They could have affected some change. You're right. They couldn't go through the front door of tshuva. But the Baruch Hu says they could have gone through the side door. That's why when you built the Teva, Baruch Hu says, all that time, remember the instructions are given. It took a very long time to build the Teva. And the whole idea is that through the building of the Teva, Baruch Hu was giving Noach the blueprint, the instructions for how to impact and affect humanity. So Baruch Hu says to Noach, not only did I tell you that I was going to bring the flood, but I told you to put the door on the side. That's what I told you. And I needed you to understand that the side door instead of the front door was a metaphor that even if you can't affect comprehensive, cathartic, total change, even if you can't go through the front door of tshuva, take the side door. Take the side door. You can't do the best thing in your process, in your framework of change. Okay, do the next best thing. Do something. You're right, Noach. You couldn't change all of humanity in a comprehensive, cathartic, complete way. But you could have affected some change. You couldn't take them through the front door of being Baalei Tshuva, but you could have taken them through the side door. And dear friends, what a profound and overwhelming exchange with Kadosh Baruch Hu and Noach. What a profound and overwhelming lesson for us. You know, it's about this stage of the year where the Yom Tovim are behind us. And if we're honest with ourselves, sometimes we find ourselves backsliding a little bit. Things we said we weren't going to do and we started doing again. Behaviors we thought were behind us, maybe they're resurfacing. And it often yields feelings of despondency and sadness and yesh. And I kind of feel like I thought this was going to be the year where I would emerge from the Teva, from the Ark of Yamim Noraim, and I would go out the front door. I'd go out the front door, and like, I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to be great, and it's going to be fantastic. And I had this whole vision of how I'm going to be and what I'm going to do and how it's all going to take place. And now it's just a week or two after Yamim Noraim, and again, it's coming to Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, and already I could see a little bit of the spiritual coldness of winter already beginning to set in. Don't become despondent. Don't experience yesh. If you can't take the front door to change, take the side door. If you can't affect all of the change you wanted to affect in your life, then do something. You can't change everything you wanted to change about yourself or about your existence. You can't go through the front door of comprehensive, personalistic, total and cathartic change. It's okay. Go through the side door, but don't give up. Noach gave up, or Noach didn't feel that humanity was capable of any change. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, you're right, Noach, they weren't capable of that ultimate change, but they were capable of side door change. Halabai, we should be Zochem Meretz Hashem to take the front door out of the Teva of the Yamim Noraim. But if you're like me, chances are you've already made a number of mistakes. And maybe the front door is closed. But even if the front door is closed, beautiful things come from the side door of the Teva. Beautiful things come from the side door of the new year. Beautiful things come even from secondary change. Beautiful things come even from the side door of personalistic, comprehensive change. Maybe Zochem to experience it. Wishing everyone a good Erev Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.